you're looking for spooks, scares, and blood-curdling scenarios, then one thing or another, you're looking for horror anime. In the anime world, there's only just a handful bunch of shows wherein the word horror comes true to its name. Most of the time, scary anime shows with extreme monstrosities, blood, and gore are already considered as horror. Let's count down our top 10 best horror anime of all time that will scare you to death. Tokyo Ghoul. A boy named Ken Kaneki is the protagonist of the series. He meets a cute bookworm going by the name Rise, who's actually a ghoul. Ghouls are way above the average zombies as they look exactly like humans and can easily blend into the society. How they're different from humans is that while humans eat everything apart from humans, ghouls can only eat humans.
She knows too much.
How pretty. Ghouls in the world don't mix. Run.
What's more, they have special powers to hunt their victims. Rise ends up inside Kaneki's body but is unable to eat his flesh, and gets killed in the process, bringing Ken quite close to death too. Her organs are transplanted into Ken to save his life, turning him into a hybrid. Now, even though Ken has the morals of an average human being, his powers and needs are almost the same as other ghouls. This horror anime is a perfect mix of terror, mystery and tragedy. Parasite the Maxim. What's a good horror anime list without some body horror and aliens? Fortunately, Parasite comfortably takes the 9th spot on this list, bringing with it alien invasions, pseudo-cannibalism and body horror. Main character Shinichi lives in a quiet Tokyo neighborhood that suddenly turns horror-fest when worm-like aliens invade Earth, settling in the brains of human hosts and transforming them into flesh-eating monsters. When it's Shinichi's turn to be taken over by a parasite, it fails, instead eating his right hand and making any future attempts at masturbation pretty damn awkward. As he learns to live with the alien in his hand, Shinichi also learns to fight the other aliens who mercilessly devour humans every day. Even though the series is a remake of a pretty old manga, everything about it works.
もっと大事にしなければならん。この天敵こそ美しい大自然のピラミッドにぴったりと収まる。人間の一つ上にな。早く撃て！殺せ！
The visuals look great and mature while the music is something a little different than usual. As much as it has plenty of blood and cannibalism, it asks a lot of questions about morality. HELLSING. Belonging more to the fantasy genre of horror anime, HELLSING is a fairly short anime series that has won millions of hearts with its depiction of classic fantasy creatures, vampires and action. We all know of Van Helsing, the popular vampire hunter of the Dracula legend, who slays oddities even after his demise. This one is heavily inspired from a scary story. It follows the adventures of a vampire named Alucard and his partner Ceres Victoria, who's a police agent turned vampire. They work for a vampire extermination organization named HELLSING in England. Alucard's main task is to seek and destroy any threat from the supernatural and undead forces that are after the life of England's queen and the country itself. You can see Alucard, Ceres and their comrades fighting off evil vampires in terrifyingly scary situations. Attack on Titan. While this show is not, by any means, a horror anime that thrives in the original elements of horror, it does demonstrate a new kind of fear that bases itself from gore and monstrosities capable of shutting down all hope and conveying on a feeling of despair. Although action is the strongest point of this name, horror synchronizes very well with that factor, rendering this show heart-jumping and shockingly good at its prime moments. In an era where humans have been forced to live in makeshift giant walled cities and gigantic flesh-eating monsters called Titans roam free on most of the lands, there's nothing left for humans to do but to live their lives in a peace that'll probably never become permanent. One day, a colossal titan suddenly shows up and destroys the outermost walls, causing the lesser titans to lay waste upon the outer city. Fortunately, there are 2 more inner walls intact, which gives humanity ample time to prepare and finally strike back at the titans with all their might. Eren Yeager is one of the soldiers, and with his full resolve on destroying the titans, he'll stop at nothing until all of them are exterminated from the face of the planet. SHIKI. Although Shiki may seem meandering on certain occasions, underneath the cheerful voiceovers, amazing animation and colorful appearances, you'll find something very sinister at play. The story follows 15-year-old Megumi Shimizu who dies unexpectedly in the quiet village of Sotoba, resulting in a ferocious epidemic and plenty of blood and terror. Then enters Toshio Ozaki, a young doctor who in search of truth decides to abandon his humanity. Natsuno Yuki, who is very disturbed by the untimely death of his friend Megumi, pairs up with Toshio in an effort to save Sotoba from turning into a town of vampires. Corpse Party. Its story takes place inside Heavenly Host, an elementary school which is destroyed because of the recurring disappearances and murders of its students and staff members. As time passes by, another school named Kizurachi Academy is built at the former site of the mysterious Heavenly Host school. One fine night, a group of Kizurachi Academy students decide to tell scary ghost stories. When they do, a sudden earthquake rocks the place and these students are transported into a dimension where the Heavenly Host school still exists. What's troubling is that the school is haunted by the scary ghosts of murdered students who used to study there. Elfen Lied. A classic horror anime, Elfen Lied has enough cruelty and bloodshed to appeal to all horror movie lovers. Elfen Lied features human-like mutants with horns, referred to as Diclonius, who have strong telekinetic powers among many other abilities. They're all locked up and isolated from society inside a research center, run by the government. Their strongest member escapes from the facility, killing all the guards in the process. She gets shot in her head and winds up on a beach with a couple of teenage cousins. The boys take the naked and crazy girl home, oblivious of her true identity and not realizing the kind of impact their actions will have on their lives. Although Elfen Lied perfectly delivers on the horror front, it manages to keep things light by tackling multiple themes. Future Diary. Survival games are a staple of horror anime, what with all the entrapment and schemes to kill large casts of characters. While surprisingly few are animated, we still get some slice em-up action with Future Diary. Loner and all-around strange guy Yuki just likes to type on his phone and talk to his imaginary god friend just like everyone else. When his imaginary friend turns out to be real, Yuki is thrust into a battle royale with 12 players, each who have a phone that gives them a unique power. These people have 90 days to kill each other to become the new god of time and space, but there's just one problem: Yuki's an extreme wimp. Future Diary attempts to mix senseless slaughter with a plot that needs more thought, but still comes out as a fairly easy anime to watch. As a bonus, it has a fair few supernatural elements in case you're tired of the usual crazy psycho killer scenario.
I declare this meeting adjourned.
Higurashi When They Cry. It's June 1983 and the place is a fictional quiet rural village known as Hinamizawa. The protagonist Keiichi Mabara decides to leave his hometown for Hinamizawa. After having witnessed several unfortunate events in his hometown, he spends most of his time in the company of his school friends, leading a carefree life and playing games with them. However, Hinamizawa, like most sleepy towns, has a dark secret. Appearances can be deceiving here. Keiichi stumbles upon the news of a murder in Hinamizawa one day, which is then followed by a number of mysterious events. He discovers that his good friends at school may not be all that good after all. As different events start unfolding in different situations, the story takes a horrifically gory turn. There is nothing more scary than a group of friendly whack jobs who just won't leave you alone. Another. Sitting on the second spot in this list is Another, one of the most terrifying horror anime in existence, featuring 12 episodes full of creepy and mysterious murders. This one has the word scary written all over it, in blood, of course. Yamajama North Middle School's Class 3-3 made a bad name for itself after a student died there in the year 1972, followed by everyone pretending as if nothing had happened because of a curse. All its teachers, students, and their family members are at the risk of dying horrible deaths in a plot akin to the movie Final Destination. Kouchi is a new transfer student to Class 3-3. He soon starts noticing a girl named Mai that no one else can see. The curse starts to claim lives once again. The survivors must somehow find a way to stop these terrifying deaths and get to the root of the problem. The mystery of the story keeps playing with the viewer's expectations right till the very end. You see new mysterious elements getting thrown in regularly. Some simply introduce to send you down the wrong path. Hence, you shouldn't try to predict anything. Its intrigue and unpredictability are scary enough to help you breeze or run screaming past its 12 episodes. What is your favorite anime series from the list above? Let us know below and don't forget to subscribe.